Now we are going to look into the main method and why the main method looks like what it looks like, why the keywords are there, what each of them means, just so you can get a better understanding of the main method. So let's just create a new project for this. We'll call this main method. Actually, let's not add the sample code this time because we want to write out the main method and destructure it to see what's going on. So now let's press create and we'll get an IntelliJ workspace like this. So let's just create our class. We'll go create class and go main, press enter. Now I'll create our class here. So the structure of the main method in Java is designed for consistency and compatibility, and it's always written the same way in Java so that the JVM knows exactly where to begin the program. Now, to be honest, it can look complicated, but we'll write it out word by word and just see if we can understand this. So, obviously, we've all seen a main method before, and it starts with public. Now, public is like an access modifier. So this is the keyword that makes our main method accessible from anywhere in this Java module. So any of these other files that could be here, it has access. And it's like having an open door policy, allowing like other, visitors or sort of people coming in to enter that function or that method. So in this case, the JVM needs to be able to enter this, therefore it should be public. Now, we then have the keyword static. So public static. And this means that the method belongs to the main class itself. But it doesn't belong to a specific instance. So for example, if we were to let me put a comment here. If the JVM was to construct, an instance of this class, it would be like main equals new main. Obviously, this isn't what happens, but just for demo, right? This main function doesn't belong on a specific instance, but it belongs on the class itself, which is important for things like static initialization, which is slightly more of an advanced topic. So imagine a static method as a tool that is available in every room of a house, regardless of who's in the room. So for example, you could have many different instances of this main class, but there's only one sort of shared sort of static method that is amongst all of them. Now, void, obviously this just means that we aren't returning anything from the function. And this tells us that the main method doesn't return a value, but it just sort of runs, right? And then we have the name of the method. So that name is always going to be main. We always call it main because the JVM recognizes the main method as its starting point. That's just a convention. Now we have this parameter that goes like string, array, and args, right? And actually, this can be swapped, right? So this doesn't have to be here. We can have it there as well. And that will still be just as valid. But the recommended format is this. Because this is essentially saying we have an array of strings, which is the arguments that we pass into the JVM when we run this. Now, obviously, a lot of this is abstracted away from us because we use IntelliJ, right? And the IDE passes in all of the right arguments for us. And it can receive any additional information about when the program runs, right? We can pass in certain parameters that might make it run differently. We can pass in parameters to do with the memory and things like that. And it's like we can drop these arguments in. They're almost like parameters, but like from outside of the program. So before we've executed anything, it would run like, the IDE runs like Java and then program, and then we can put our args in here, right, and pass those in from outside. Usually we don't have to deal with these though, unless we're doing anything quite complex, which we won't be covering in the fundamentals course. And then obviously we have the curly braces, and all that does is it means that everything in here will be run. So obviously, you know, this is just the convention of Java. You can't create a main method any other way in the standard language features. However, there is a new feature coming in Java 21 or 22 where this becomes shortened. But in every other version of Java, it works like this. This is the best way to learn it because that is sort of the de facto way of doing things, right? So pretty much when we run this main method, everything in here will execute. Now, obviously,